All right. So your test is going to be next week, Tuesday. Okay. So that's a week from yesterday. Okay. It will be on simplifying trigonometric expressions. It will be solving trigonometric equations, and it will be proving trigonometric identities. Okay? Okay? So in your packet, you have 4 different worksheets. Okay? Those will all be due from everybody. That's all the blue packet. And then yesterday we took the formative. That will also, the corrections to that will also be due. Okay? Actually, everybody's going to have to turn that one in because I didn't put them in the grade book yesterday at all. So, or no, did I? No, I did. I did put them in the grade book. Yep. So, not everybody. So, as a warm up today, I would like you to solve this one for me. First lap unit circle. You can use like a corner of one of the sheets that you have, or in your own notes if you want. That's just fine.
Are you taking notes today?
They'll be on that sheet that you picked up when you came in. Yep, no, I know. Yep. Okay. So the first thing that I would do in this one is I would say that this is 3 over sine minus sine equaling -2. So I got it into one trig function. Okay. Then let's get rid of the fraction and let's multiply everything by sine. If I do that on the left, I have to do that on the right also. 3 times sine is 3 sine, divided by sine is just 3. Sine times sine is sine squared. -2 times sine is -2 sine. Okay. Now, as we stated earlier, let's get it equal to 0. I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. At the same time, I'm going to add sine squared to both sides. So then that is going to give me 0 equals sine squared minus 2 sine minus 3. In my brain, I'm thinking of this as 0 equals y squared minus 2y minus 3. If that were my case and I were in algebra, I would factor. I would use the 2 parentheses factoring method. Okay? So let's do that. 2 things that multiply together to be sine squared are sine and sine. 2 numbers that multiply together to be -3 and add to be -2 are -3 and +1. So I get sine minus 3 and sine plus 1. Now I can set those equal to 0. And solve. Giving me that. And that now I can look unit circle. Anywhere on the unit circle is sine equal to 3. No, that doesn't happen at all. Sine's got to be in between -1 and +1. Okay? Where on the unit circle is sine equal to -1? 3 pi over 2. Okay? Now, yesterday you got a note sheet. Today you got another note sheet. I'm actually going to start on yesterday's note sheet. Okay? That's the one that I would like to start on. I think this is, oh, nope, I lied. This is different than that one. Okay, oops, I lied. Well, I do want to start on one of those from yesterday. So, I think I gotta go grab one. I want to draw your attention to two of those from yesterday, and then we'll jump into some of them from today. Okay? So the first one that I want to draw your attention to is number 3. Number 3 says secant of x plus tangent of x is equal to cosine of x divided by 1 minus sine of x. First thing, and then it gave you a hint in that one saying use the conjugates. Okay? Now, first thing that you need to do is when we're proving this identity, so this is a true identity. The secant of an angle plus the tangent of an angle is truly equal to the cosine of that angle divided by 1 minus the sine. That's a true identity. Okay? So we can only work one side. Okay? Okay? That's all. We get to pick which side we want, and as I told my classes yesterday, we're going to look for the sign that's going to keep us awake at night. The sign that's going to give us nightmares, the side that's going to make us scared and make us want to quit pre-algebra. That's the side we're, or pre-calculus. That's the side we want to go with. Okay? Now in this case, they both look kind of scary, but if you see, anytime that you see 1 minus a singleton trig function, that's the side you go with. Okay? So I'm going to focus all of my attention on the right side of this. And that's it. I can't do anything to the left side. The left side is gone. I've wiped it from my memory. Okay? It's a picture we hang on the wall. Like you probably have some pictures of long lost relatives. Okay? It's one of those things. We can see it, but we don't know we can't do anything with that at this point in time. Okay? So I'm going to multiply by the conjugate. The conjugate is 1 plus the sine of x over 1 plus the sine of x. Whatever I do to that side, I've got to do the same thing because I can only multiply by 1 or add 0. Okay? So if I do that on the top, I get cosine of x times 1 plus the sine of x. On the bottom, I get, if I multiply these together, I get 1 plus sine of x minus sine of x, which cancel each other out, minus sine squared of x. Okay? Now, what you are going to want to do is you are going to want to do this. Because you're lazy. Okay? But what I'm saying, and what Mrs. Hill's saying, and what Schmeldog is saying, is you're going to have to do this. Because we need to see your thought process. We need to see that. Okay? Now what can I do? Get rid of the cosine on the top, cancel out one of the cosines on the bottom? Yep, exactly. So then this would become 1 plus sine over cosine. Bring this back. Let me draw the shade now. Okay? Still not my left side. I need it to be exactly like my left side. So now from here, what I can say is, this is 1 over cosine plus sine over cosine. And I have to show that, because I'm breaking it up. 1 over cosine is secant. Sine over cosine is tangent. And now that I've made this side become the other side, now I'm done. Yes, ma'am. Because that's the conjugate, and that's what the hint in that problem told me. Okay? Did he do the left side? Okay, and that's fine. So basically what's going to happen, or what should happen there then, if you're on the left side, you're going to start here. That's going to be your first step. Then you're going to go to here. That's going to be your next step. Then you're going to go to here. You know what I mean? Or you actually here you would multiply by 1 minus sine over 1 minus sine. You go conjugate there. And that would bring you up to this one. And then, you know what I mean? You work your way backwards on if you start on the other side. Yep. Yep. Right? The other one that I wanted to draw your attention to just briefly was number 5 on that same sheet. And that was cosine of t minus sine of t, quantity squared, plus cosine of t plus sine of t, quantity squared, equals 2. And the reason I wanted to show you this one is because it's reverse factoring. Okay? What this truly means here is cosine of t minus sine of t times cosine of t minus sine of t. Then you've got cosine of t plus sine of t, cosine of t plus sine of t. No, because it's squared, so they have to be the same, not conjugates here in this case. Yep. Because it's squared, that's what the hint right above that one said. X minus 1 quantity squared is x minus 1 times x minus 1. Okay? All right? So then this would become cosine squared of t. As a side note too, because I saw this a lot yesterday when I was correcting formatives, and I've seen this a lot when people have been asking me questions. Just as a side note, cosine squared of t is not the same as cosine of t squared. Those mean two totally different things. In the left one, you're squaring the cosine value after you find it. In the right one, you're squaring the angle and then applying the cosine value of it. Those mean two totally different things and will be marked wrong if we see them. Okay? then this is going to be minus 2 cosine of t sine of t, then plus sine squared of t. Then this is going to be cosine of squared of t plus 2 cosine of t sine of t, then plus sine squared of t. Oh, because I know how to do my algebra. Okay, so that the first one is here, right? Well, that's the cosine squared. You weren't asking about that one. Yeah. So that's why I didn't do that part. I didn't do the cosine times cosine. I'm just getting where you wanted your question answered. I'm getting there. No, I'm not there yet. Okay, so that gives me minus cosine sine, right? Okay, what does this one give me? So if you've got 1 minus cosine sine and I got 1 minus cosine sine, that gives us minus 2 cosine sines. Yeah. Okay? Which this then becomes cosine squared of t plus sine squared of t plus cosine squared of t plus sine squared of t. Or like this. You could write it like that, or you're saying like this. As long as you put it in parentheses, I'm okay with it. If you don't put it in parentheses, then it's not correct. Okay? Because these two are opposites. Negative 2 cosine sine plus 2 cosine sine makes 0. Okay? What does this equal? What does this equal? What's 1 plus 1? And 2 is equal to 2. Okay? But, again, I have to show all of this work in order to prove that. I can't just do a bunch of stuff in my brain and call it that I'm going to get all the points for it. Okay? Let's switch to today's note sheet. On the back side, there's numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5. I will let you pick one right now. 4? Okay. Which side looks uglier?
Definitely the right side.
Right? Okay, that's fine. Let's work right side. So we're going to ignore left side for right now. Okay? So I would say here that the cotangent of u is the cosine of u divided by the sine of u. Secant is 1 over the cosine of u. Tangent is minus sine of u cosine of u. Okay. That helps us out, right? Now I can say that this is cosine of u, sine of u, times 1 minus sine of u all over cosine of u. What do you really, 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 really want to do right now? We really want to distribute, but what's going to happen if we distribute? No. Nope. Because it's 1 minus sine squared is cosine squared. Cosines kind of cancel each other out, right? Okay. But in this particular problem, resist the urge. Okay? Because then you're just going to get 1 minus sine over sine, which is just secant minus 1. Right? Okay? So can't do anything there. Okay? So let's multiply by yeah. Nope. Or I mean, it can only affect one of them. It can't affect both. Yep. Okay. What do you get when you multiply by that? So you're still going to have this, but now you're going to have that. Okay. Now what? Okay. Okay. That. Okay. Okay. We're not getting anywhere near it, right? What? Because sometimes you got to go down these paths, and you realize that you get to this point in time, and we're what? We're 6 steps into it now. Are we even anywhere remotely looking like the other side? No. Okay. So here's what I would say to do to this one.
Erase the whole thing.
Yep.
Should we start on the left side then?
I would have started on the left side. Because once again, anytime that you see 1 plus or 1 minus or a singleton trig function and a singleton trig function being added or subtracted, okay, that's the side you go to. Okay? So I would have gone here. I would have said cotangent squared of u over 1 plus cosecant of u, and here I would have multiplied by 1 minus cosecant of u over 1 minus cosecant of u. Now, this is not a brag, this is not a boast, okay? I have experience with these because I've done them. Okay? You are just getting that. You are just starting this process. I did not expect you to see this. The reason I let you guys go for 6 steps was because I wanted to see if you guys could come up with a way to get yourself out of it. Okay? Right? But after like 6 steps, if you're nowhere near, you're choosing the wrong side. Okay? Right? Or go down a different path along that side. Okay? On the top here, I get cotangent squared of u times 1 minus cosecant of u. On the bottom, what do I get? Yep. Well, you tell me. Is it an identity? You sure? What do you got? So, but what is 1 minus cosecant squared? Which one is it? Which one are we looking at? Number 10. Okay. I want 1 minus cosecant squared. So negative cotangent. It's negative cotangent. Yep. Sure. Got lost in what I was writing. Okay. What can I do with my cotangent squares? Get rid of them, right? But that leaves me with negative 1 times 1 minus cosecant of u. Okay? Okay. So that's going to be what? Cosecant of u minus 1, right? Which is 1 over sine minus 1. Now, I want this to have a cotangent in it, in the end, correct? Right? Yes? Okay, so let's introduce cotangent. Oops, I forgot the u here. If I introduce cotangent, right, I need whatever this gets multiplied by to this, and it's got to give me 1 over sine. So this right here has to be 1 over cosine. Right? What are those two multiplied together? 1 over sine, right? So have I changed this at all? No. Okay? I introduced cotangent because we said we needed it. As long as I've got to adjust this right here. This right there had to be adjusted if I bring in cotangent. These two multiplied together gives me that. Not yet. Okay? Then, what do I have to multiply this green thing by to get 1? Wouldn't it just be pot? Because I already got the minus sign.
Yeah, sorry.
So just sine over cosine. This is what college is like, yes. Except you will have a professor that probably won't, like, he'll just keep going, or he or she, I should say. He'll just keep going. Okay? Quick check. If I distribute green, do I get 1 step back above? Yeah. Okay, well, what is green? Cotangent, right? What is first purple? Secant. What is second purple? Is that what I needed it to be? Okay. This line right here, if you multiply it, gets you this line. Because you looked ahead. You looked at the picture of your ancestors on the wall, and you said, I need a cotangent in there. So let's put a cotangent in there. Yep. As long as you adjust it to make it fit. Mm-hmm.
So can we put on our sheet that 1 over sine or cosine over sine?
I don't know why you would need it on your sheet, but sure.
I gotta be important.
Okay. All right, pick another one. Let's go with one more. 3? Okay. Which side looks worse? Which side? Left side? Okay, I would agree that the left side looks worse. Okay? It does.
I think we should go.
You? Okay. Go right side?
Yeah.
Okay. Because this one I know it doesn't matter. Okay? Left side, if we choose the left side, what's the naughty word that we're going to have to do on the top? Factor. Okay? If we choose the right side, what are we going to have to multiply by? The conjugate, the C word, right? Okay? So it doesn't matter which one you do. I'll do it both ways because this one's actually pretty quick. Okay? So if I'm working left side here, if I'm working left side, what is the top factor to be? Top, what is it factor to be? Right now I'm going to do left side, then I'm going to do the right side right afterwards. Okay? What is it factor to be? 1 minus 4 cosine. 1 plus cosine. Right? Okay? What can I do with sine squared? One minus cosine squared. Okay? Can I factor 1 minus cosine squared? Yes? Now what happens? What cancels out? 1 plus cosine cancels each other out. Leaves me with 1 minus 4 cosine of x all over 1 minus cosine of x, which is the other side. Okay? Now, same problem. We'll do it right side. What would you do first? What conjugate are you going to multiply by? Because I see 2 possibilities.
1 plus cosine of x.
Over,
Over 1 plus cosine of x.
because it's got to be equal to 1, right?
Yeah.
On top, what do we get when we multiply?
1 minus 3 cosine of x squared.
Cosine squared of x, you mean?
Yeah.
Because you said cosine of x squared. Yep. Okay. What do we get on the bottom? No, we do not.
1 minus cosine.
1 minus cosine squared. which that equals sine squared, so I have to put that in 2 separate steps. Even though you see it and you're all jazzed up because you know you just solved it, you still have to show all of your work. Can't skip a step. Okay? You gotta like rein in that excitement. Well, yeah, because you already know the answer. On all of these, you know what the answer is. Okay? It's whatever the other side is. That's the answer. You just got to make it so. Okay? The only way you are going to get better and more efficient on these is by doing these. Okay? If you are going to wait until next Monday night to do these, to start these problems, you're in a world of hurt for Tuesday. Okay? Right? You should start doing these yesterday. Okay? Right? Right? And then you've got some on the review assignment in the blue packet that you can also do. Answers to all of the sheets in the blue packet are on the Canvas.
Would you say that these are like easy ones, or would you say like would you say these are like hard ones?
Be able to same screen. The first one we did number, what was that one? The one that we restarted? That was 4. No. I've done that one. 4. On today's 4. You won't see one now. Okay. You won't see one where you've got to introduce your own cotangent.
What's that?
This one? It's not too much a lot of factoring, it's just, this one is a lot of just multiplication. Yeah. This one, D, is no different than, get back to this one. Yeah. There's really not a lot, it looks like there's going to be a lot of work, but there's really not.
So it says 2 secant squared and 4 secant squared, but shouldn't it be 2?
For number 5?
Yeah, shouldn't it be 2 parentheses?
Nope.
But there's
It's
also,
the same, well, it's the same thing. It's not plus, because it's not plus in between.
also the 2 goes in there.
So it's 2 times secant squared times cosecant squared. Yeah, the way it's written is what that is.
But I ended with 2 over sine squared plus 2 over cosine squared.
Okay,
Right?
so factor out a 2. Because you're not done yet. So you can't be done there because you're not here.
Yeah, but
Okay? Until you get to here, you're not done. So if you ended at 2 over sine squared times 2 over cosine
it's not
squared,
times plus.
should have been times.
Should be 2 over sine squared plus times 2 over cosine squared.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it should just be 2. There should just be 1 2. Because it's just 2 times secant squared times cosecant squared. Promise. Okay? But so what I'm saying, Joe, is that if you don't end here, you're not done. Okay? Until you write this, you're not done. It's like saying you're going to Stevens Point and you get out at the airport and say, let's go play at Century World. Let's go play some golf at Century World. You're nowhere near Century World. Okay? You're on the way, but you're not there. Okay?